what we're seeing a lot as well, and crowds are almost starting to boo it now, is that you're seeing goalkeepers and centre-backs put their foot on top of the ball.
It sends me insane, Dean.
Yeah, it's because everyone's in such a good tactical shape. And look, I'm not going to say tactics are ruining the game because otherwise it ruins the show, right? but you know, everyone's so organised now, and you know, and we talked previously about how we want players to be freer within a shape. But Thomas Tuchel said, and I'm going to paraphrase him because I can't remember the quote exactly, but it's that it's a formation doesn't define the player. It just gives them a framework to play within. And what we want is players to play much more in that framework, but be free within it. And that's where I think certain managers are struggling, because we're seeing, you know, you referenced Tottenham there and you're absolutely bang on. And we're seeing it quite a lot where teams against Liverpool will identify that Konate is probably their, and this is a bit unfair on him because he's a very good footballer, but probably their least creative ball player, right? Because he's the right centre-back and he's not as good as on the ball as Van Dijk. So therefore, everybody else gets into shape and you allow that player to have the ball. And then all of a sudden, that trend of a centre-back not knowing whether to play, we see Colwill do it at Chelsea, we see Fofana do it at Chelsea, you know, Romero at Spurs does it an awful lot where he just puts his foot on top of the ball. And, you know, and it's because they're assessing play and managers are telling them don't make a mistake too quickly because then you get broken on. So that is a trend that I'd like to see go, but that is dependent on players wanting to take more risks. And centre-backs being the attack starters is becoming very, very common. Very cleverly, Pep at Bournemouth in the FA Cup a couple of weeks ago moved Kovacic from a midfield position in play into in between the two centre-backs, because then the centre-backs will occupy another player and then you've got Kovacic playing the ball. Yeah. So that's something that we might see a bit more of a number 6 coming in and being the sort of attack starter from there. Thomas Partey does it quite well for us.